internet, my name's Lave and this week I watched What We Do in the Shadows. So the reason why I'm watching this is because I've joined a Facebook group called CINEBREW, a really nice community of other cinephiles and movie lovers who just love discussing films. Each month they pick a theme and then have a poll to decide which films should be discussed next. I was really gutted that I missed last month's theme, which was underrated sci-fi films, where they talked about Under the Skin and Children of Men, both films I absolutely love for completely different reasons. Ugh. So this month's theme is underrated comedies, and top of the pile is What We Do in the Shadows. And I've got to admit, I didn't know a thing about this film. It completely flew under my radar, and I'm really pleased I joined this group because I really enjoyed it. So What We Do in the Shadows is a New Zealand-based film. It's written, directed and stars Jermaine Clement and Taika Waititi. It's all filmed mockumentary style, and it's about 4 vampires living in contemporary New Zealand who allow a camera crew to follow them around in the build-up to the Unholy Masquerade Ball. Taika Waititi stars as Viago, a slightly neurotic vampire who likes to keep his house clean. Jermaine Clement stars as Vladislav. He's the Lothario vampire known as Vladislav the Poker. Johnny Bruss stars as Deacon. He's the slightly more rebellious vampire. And then you've got Ben Fransham as Peter. He's the oldest out of all of them, and he's slightly more monstrous and horrific looking. So I really like how you're introduced to the characters. In the first 5 to 10 minutes, they're having a flat meeting about certain things that have happened. The house is messy, someone's got to do the dishes. And then you get to see a bit more about their past history throughout the centuries in the opening title credits with some really nice illustrations. But they're really just a bunch of reprobates, and it's about them trying to fit into this modern world. But they do a really good job of exploring it. They've got a familiar called Jackie who does all of their other work for them in the day. Their world is also inhabited by werewolves and witches and other monsters. Werewolves, not swearwolves. So they're going about with their day-to-day lives, or rather night-to-night lives, and things get unsettled when Peter turns Nick, a human, into a new vampire. Now, not that there's much of a plot to give away, but I don't want to say too much else because of spoilers, and I do think that you will enjoy this film the less you know about it. But I will say that the film is genuinely funny. In the first 5 minutes, the first joke landed for me, and it continued throughout. There was consistent laughs all the way through. What I really liked about it is that it doesn't spoof the vampire genre, it just has a lot of fun with all of the cliches. Now, as I say, I don't want to give any of them away because I think the less you know about this film, the more fun you'll have when you watch it. But Vladislav gives a really good analogy of why they drink virgin bloods, or why they like to drink virgin's blood. Honestly, I was in stitches. Virgin is like a sandwich. They also pay tribute to other vampire films, from Nosferatu to Dracula to Blade and even The Lost Boys. I'm sure there's probably others that went over my head, but the ones that I saw I appreciated. All in all, I was pleasantly surprised with it. So that's my thoughts on What We Do in the Shadows, and pause the video now if you want to take a closer look at my enjoyment tracker. I absolutely agree with what they say on the box of the film. It's the Spinal Tap of vampire movies. A very apt description, and I'd also say that things like The Office has influenced it as well. It should also be noted that this film is actually adapted from the original short film made by all the same people, and it actually comes with the Blu-ray. Now, I deliberately watched the short film after I watched the feature film because I knew that they'd be rehashing some of the jokes, but it's really cool and inspiring to see how the film developed from concept stage to finished product. You can really see the benefits of having a bigger budget, and they've actually developed some of the jokes to make them better. Yeah, give it a go. $9.99 on Amazon. Bargain. So thanks very much for watching. If you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. Either way, tell me in the comments. See me. Subscribe.